Hello YouTube, welcome back to Yas Heat Lap Guides. My name is Sir Foch, and today we're taking the Ferrari 296 around Zolder. A circuit that can be split in two parts. You have the first and the last sector, relatively simple, quite a lot of late apex corners, and then you have the middle sector, which is the chicane of doom, the chicane that really tests the physics engine too and pushes it very often over the limit. Really high curbs, but because we have no floor damage in ACC, we tend to take it more aggressively than they would in real life. While we are here, let me quickly show you the track limits here. Very many people get confused with this. So you can see the separation between the flat curb and the raised curb. Two wheels have to be on the flat curb on both of these, and you will be within track limits if you get your wheels off on the raised curb. First of all, you might fly into there, and second of all, you will invalidate your lap, so try to avoid doing that. But yeah, the track forces you to sacrifice quite a lot on the setup in order to be able to take the chicane. Track limits here, the red curb, two wheels on that, and you are good. Same as with the rest of the track, basically. But yeah, it's all about the chicane. It will either make or break your lap or your race. Surely you gotta get the rest of the lap even somewhat in order, but the chicane is basically like a little gambling effect on this circuit. You can have the perfect sector 1 and sector 2, but if you get a bad chicane, the lap is good for nothing really. While if you get an average sector 1 and 2 or 3 but get a ridiculously good chicane, it will still be more or less a good lap. So chicanes definitely make it or break it. For turn 1 we're looking at the rubbered line and braking maybe car length into it. Going on power early, can run wide here. Now on the left side there's like a little rubbered line that's sticking out, braking a car length or so before it. Can definitely carry a bit more speed through there. Here we're looking for the side road on the left and braking just before it, just about where it is at. The setup is definitely quite on the understeery side, but that's done to be relatively safe in the chicane. For the chicane we're braking after the 100-meter board. There's a patch of white gravel on the right side, and that's where we brake. Can carry a bit more speed, but you've got to find your limit, and definitely requires some practice. Once again, braking before the rubbered line. A bit too much corner speed, so we lost the rear a little bit, and also the curbs really help the car to rotate, so carrying a bit too much speed can be quite dangerous. Here we're braking just after the rubbered line starts. It's better not to go on that inside curb, especially with the rear wheels, as it will ruin the exit. Might seem kind of counterintuitive, but definitely want to avoid that inside curb. And here again, the white patch of gravel on the right side is where our braking reference is. Can run the curves on the outside, and that is a lap guide on Zolder. Alright, so here is our setup. Point of interest here is slight negative toe. Could maybe run a bit more, but it is still on the understeery side. Nothing to really see in these pages here, but pretty standard 1.9 Ferrari. Basically everything on softest. Seems that the bumps of range increases your chances to not fly into space over the chicane, so we're running both of those maxed out. Relatively medium damper stiffness here. Could maybe increase the rear bump to get a bit more rotation, but it will come up. It's all about the compromising the chicane. The softer everything is, the more chances you're not going to bounce off into the space, but this car has a lot of understeer issue. And another thing, rake is your enemy over the chicane, so this is why our setup is so understeery. Also 60 front is a very high ride height in ACC, but the Ferrari doesn't like these high curbs. It's not quite as bad as the 488. This track used to be the bane of the existence of this car, but the 296 you can take these curbs semi-consistently, but still any kind of gross overspeed or bad steering input and the car will spit you out into the wall. So you still got to be careful, still got to put in your practice, but this setup I found it relatively consistent to at least make it to the other end of the chicane without some major issues. So yeah, that's my lap guide on Zolder. I hope you enjoyed. I'll leave you with the hot lap and see you on the next one.